I just want to make a quick statement, and then I'm going to turn it over to Dan Freedom Green to outline some of the reasons why we actually have this recall. The work and focus of the recall committee remains the same, and that is to ensure signatures for a recall of our current mayor and allow residents of Trenton to elect a capable leader who can restore the public trust in our city government, repair and foster relationship with state government, and more importantly, maintain essential city services while working to resolve our budget crisis. With the current mayor, we have not fostered that relationship with state government. Instead, this administration has done the total opposite. Money has been spent foolishly on foolish items such as the wall of mayors in City Hall atrium. And he said it cost $4,000, but he really haven't given that total cost to the public. Now I will allow Dan Freedom Green to outline more of the missteps and blunders of this current mayor and his administration. Darren?
Good afternoon, and thank you. I'm Darren Green, part of the recall committee to remove our present mayor, Tony Mack, based off what we all need to see is to be real and relative in regards to our future. The word mystery means an enigma, something that can't be comprehended, very difficult to be understood. I'm mystified, Trentonians are mystified, why to date our mayor hasn't acknowledged the situation that occurred with Kevin Moriarty, where racial epithets were put in the air, bullying tactics were used against him, and he himself, as a qualified, good citizen, was not allowed to have his day and have law and order pushed towards him. In a city that's multicultural and has diverse ethnic backgrounds in it, that speaks volumes. When people can't see that government and governing bodies, and more importantly our mayor, has the inability to govern and be impartial in his judgments, that is how you begin to give birth to the apathy you see in our communities. Because when people see that their elected officials don't care, they stop caring. The second aspect, and this is really important, is the seven business administrators. Now, I'm going to go slow here because Trentonians really don't understand how profound this is. Organic businesses, businesses that are here in Trenton, cannot construct stability, credibility, and move forward in terms of marketing and utilizing their services for Trentonians in the outlying areas if every time you speak to the individual who's in charge, it's a different person. How do you build rapport? How do you build trust? How do you build relationships which benefit not only Trentonians but the city as a whole? That's internal. Externally, you have to look at how people outside the city, businesses, we need to come in to generate revenue, to cut down on our high tax rates and allow us to have some revenue to deal with some of our services that are being removed and things that we need going on within the city. Outside, if you looked in and you saw an erratic administration, a poorly run administration, people who are unprofessional, incompetent, not qualified to hold the positions they're in, you have to ask yourself if with a business would you come here with the answer to the equation that seems to be our problem economically always being elevate the tax rates, they won't come here. So internally and externally we struggle. My next point is the Department of Recreation, which was completely dismantled, and then thousands were allocated towards our parks in the city. I support parks as being a medium to promote for our children and families, but I sincerely assert as an administrator in the school system, the majority of our children cannot read directions to those parks in our city. I'm asking the question I've been asking as Trentonians have, when is money, when are plans going to be put in play to reopen our libraries that are closed? That's a priority. The next point is, as a governing individual or as a governing body or partner, you need to have the ability to work with everybody, elected officials, citizens, every individual who's trying to be a part of the equation, which is the promotion of Trenton as a city. Our mayor continuously shows defiance. City council, who are elected members to do their due diligence and play their part in our city, continuously vote down appointments, personnel, measures, initiatives, and the mayor tries to circumvent the system and put whom he chooses in there. The last one being Harold Hall. I mean, we all pause there because it gets to the point now where it's embarrassing. Notification, written documentation was put out by the state, DCA, saying they not only wanted Mr. Hall to be demoted, but even terminated. So how in the world do you put him into the biggest position in the city other than the chief of staff? And it needs to be clear because Trentonians don't know. The director of public works runs all of the city agencies and departments. If you're not qualified to do the previous job you were in, how do we qualify moving you forward to a bigger position? That hurts us, that hurts Trentonians, that hurts us in totality. We have to wake up and understand this mayor is dangerous. And I think the most important thing we need to understand about the last documentation that was sent out, the individual from the governor's office said our actions, or this mayor's continued actions to keep doing what he's doing, has a negative impact on the transitional aid that we very rarely need. That is important. So we're saying pending money that is sitting there, what they're basically saying is you keep acting like you're acting and you won't get it. And we certainly can see from where we are and what we're dealing with and doing, we need that.